denying mOOnGLaDe that 5th base. That's going to set him even farther behind in that economy. mOOnGLaDe, though, putting down his base again. And it looks like at this point, SLush able to pull back those Hydras. None of those Hydras really took a whole lot of damage. Fungal growth, not too useful on them, as it cannot stop massive units. That is a lot of Ultralisks, though, for SLush. Looks like he's in great shape, maybe thinking of, yep, just expanding to that gold right now, so SLush taking what is probably going to be his last base. I don't see him taking any of the other gold or muscling this away from mOOnGLaDe anytime soon. Looks like he may be thinking about some aggression here with those Ultralisks. That one Roach not going to pose much of a threat. Looks like SLush here checking for a gold expansion for mOOnGLaDe and not finding it. Although mOOnGLaDe is aware of this army now, as that Roach did give him the info back at that Xel'Naga tower. And where will he go? Looks like SLush is going to be pushing into the natural expansion of mOOnGLaDe. That's a lot of Ultralisks. They're going to make short work of those spine crawlers, but it looks like we do have mOOnGLaDe's army coming in from behind that Mass Infestor. Looks like SLush pulling back for a moment, trying to decide if he wants to engage. And it looks like he does decide he wants to move in there, taking down those spine crawlers right away. Looks like the Hydras are going to get decimated by those Ultralisks. That's not a place we want them to be. But mOOnGLaDe using those infested Terrans to kind of create a wall, forcing the Ultralisks to attack them first to get to the Hydras. And that's going to let the Hydras do enough damage to take out these Ultralisks, it looks like. And yeah, wow, SLush losing 12 Ultralisks, if not more. I believe it was 12 at last count. And that is going to give mOOnGLaDe the confidence he needs to start moving across the map here. Excellent use with those infested Terrans, creating that wall to sort of stop those Ultralisks. I don't think I've ever seen that done before. Looks like mOOnGLaDe is going to stop off first at this gold and take that out. Good decision, not really being mined from, but you don't want to get the gold into production at this point of the game. Both players maxed out now, so what it really comes down to at this point is army management and composition. Looks like mOOnGLaDe thinking of moving in. Looks like he's going to head to the natural of SLush. Let's go to the production tab to see what SLush has coming. Lots more Ultras coming onto the field. Looks like we have 11 already out. That one Ultra is going to go down. He's out of position there. Looks like mOOnGLaDe is going to move in. That's a lot of Ultras. All the Ultras coming in for SLush right now. We're going to see if he's going to be able to do a little bit better. mOOnGLaDe's army a little bit more spread out than it was before, but mOOnGLaDe putting that wall of infested Terrans again to keep the Ultralisks back while the Hydralisks shoot from behind. Some Ultralisks coming in from the side to flank. And things look pretty even right now. The Ultras are able to take down that infested Terran wall and get into the infestors. More infested Terrans going down to try to block the Ultralisk. But it looks like it's not going to be enough. Although no, it looks like mOOnGLaDe is swinging ahead here, able to take down all those Ultras again. Wow, so it looks like we've seen SLush already go through 25 at least Ultralisks right now. That's more Ultralisks than most people build in an entire game, thrown against that wall of infested Terrans and Hydralisks. But it looks like mOOnGLaDe is going to be pushed back there with this mass roach that looks like SLush is starting to do. Let's go to the production tab. Yeah, 25 roaches in production. And it looks like we do have 50 of them out right now. For SLush, he's going to do a counterattack against the expansions for mOOnGLaDe. So SLush switching it up on a dime, going for a mass roach attack now at this point. 53 roaches. Looks like they're going to be able to come in and do some serious damage to these expansions. And although mOOnGLaDe is mining from his third, these are really expansions that he needs to stay in this game. Those roaches taking out the fourth. mOOnGLaDe bringing in some Hydralisks, but it looks like the roaches aren't going to do anything about it. Nidus Worm coming in for SLush, trying to provide some sort of escape route for those roaches. He does have the high ground right now. Those Hydras are not going to be able to do too much damage. They are forced back down the ramp. And it looks like SLush is just going to chill out in this base here. Two infestors unfortunately spawning at that fifth base for mOOnGLaDe, going to be taken out very easily. Nothing coming out of the Nidus Worm, so it looks like SLush is just using that as an escape route. Looks like mOOnGLaDe coming in, rebuilding his fourth, possibly going to try to push SLush out of that fifth base. SLush not trying to move down the ramp. He knows what's waiting for him. So at this point it is a little bit of a standoff, but we do have a bunch of infestors coming in to augment those Hydralisks. We're going to have to see what happens. mOOnGLaDe looks like he's about ready to push up that ramp, and he does. Starting to push up those Hydralisks, but stopping right at the barn. Oh, huge fungal growth on those roaches. Gets about half of those, and those roaches are all going to die. There's not a whole lot they can do. They're out of range of hitting those roaches, but it looks like he does need to move those Hydras in a little bit farther to get the rest of them. Another fungal growth, making sure that they don't escape. So despite the Nidus network, mOOnGLaDe with an excellent fungal growth, catching about half of those 50 roaches there. Looks like SLush is moving into that gold now, doing a little bit of long distance mining possibly while he's waiting for that base to come up. A couple more ultras on the way. If we go to the production tab, 9 more ultras, so SLush still favoring mass ultra at this point, with a lot of roaches thrown in too at this point as well. Both players are working their way back up to 200. mOOnGLaDe looking very solid with that Roach Hydra combination. Looking like despite losing his main early on, he may be able to come back and win this. Because up till now, those ultras have not been terribly helpful for SLush, but maybe with this Roach combination, it will be enough. That is going to be a little bit more deadly of a force, I think, than just throwing mass ultras at the opponent. Looks like mOOnGLaDe is going to move in. That one infestor out ahead, possibly getting some early fungals. Going to go in and try to take the gold out again. Hydralisks in the front, and it looks like a bunch of spine crawlers coming in, but there's no way they're going to get burrowed in time. At this point, they're just kind of blocking SLush's army from getting in. Another wall of infested Terrans, but these ultras do come in and flank. But mOOnGLaDe quick to respond with another wall of infested Terrans. I can't believe I'm saying wall of infested Terrans, but that's exactly what we're seeing here. Doing a great job again of preventing those ultras from getting to the actual army of mOOnGLaDe. Some ultras getting into the Hydras, but it's just not going to be enough. Wow, that's just amazing. That is some great use of infested Terrans. You know, infestors, of course, known for the fungal growth mostly. Infested Terrans not used quite as much, but really showing how they can be strategically placed to make a big difference in a lot of battles on this match. Kind of making those go mOOnGLaDe's way, other than losing early on. Looks like we do have some infestors coming out for SLush as well. Inspired perhaps getting a nice fungal on those roaches. Or not roaches, Hydras. Looks like mOOnGLaDe is going to push in and try to take out this 4th base that SLush has. And SLush only mining off of these 2 bases right now. And it looks like that base is going to go down. And I think he's going to move into the 5th at this point. But it looks like, yeah, not a lot for SLush. SLush actually starting to look a little bit weak at this point. I don't know if SLush is going to be able to do anything to stop this now. Mass Hydra is moving into the last mining base for SLush. And this is not going to be very good at all. Infestors taking up the rear, and it doesn't look like SLush really has anything that can contend with this. 2 ultras, 2 roaches, and 4 infestors. That's not going to do it. That base going down so fast. And so that is it at this point. If we go back to the income, SLush completely out. Only 140 and 220, so really nothing at this point. So SLush down to no income at all. mOOnGLaDe able to come back with this Roach Hydra, Mass Hydra Infestor. SLush saying, I don't know how I lost that. So SLush admitting defeat. Oh wait, Ultras. mOOnGLaDe actually has it right though. Infestors, man. But that was a very subtle, very tricky use of infestors, creating that wall of infested Terrans to prevent those Ultralisks from coming in and doing massive damage to mOOnGLaDe's army. So mOOnGLaDe coming back from losing his main early in the game with some great play using Hydralisks and infestors, a very unique composition to win this ZvZ on Metalopolis. I hope you've enjoyed it. I thought this was an awesome game, really unique play from both players there. And yeah, keep watching my channel. If you like it, subscribe. I'm going to be putting up a lot more StarCraft 2 in the near future. And yeah, keep playing StarCraft, and I'll see you guys next time.